there we go. Let's roll into Random Encounters. This is our final segment of the live show, and this is where we roll a D20 and get some random topics. Let's throw up the list, and whatever we roll, we'll talk about. Let's hope that we don't see any ones here, because I know what the one topic is today. Because somebody wants to bash on Shira.
All right, well,
let's get that D20. Let's let our guest, Chea Cosplay, go ahead and
this
roll.
list in a long
I
time.
know we have not.
It's
need
my
to.
fault too. I just looked and said, "Oh my God, this list is old."
I know.
Some of these subjects have been on here for months.
We've been hitting these cons and all this stuff. We've actually taken this
Don't
month
roll a
off.
7.
We're taking this month off from cons, so we'll get some stuff updated.
You forget it though, Pathfinder Second Edition, man. Like
our next con isn't until
like September. Dragon Con.
No, not Dragon Con. No, I don't have the money or time for Dragon Con right now.
We're trying to get big enough by the next one that they go, we got to have Dicejunkies here.
Oh, yeah.
So we're basically hoping lightning will strike the more important people, and then they get down a list of us.
So, yeah.
I'll make sure to tell Dragon Claw some cosplay. Just like tell her, like, yo, you need to go as lightning. And just like, hey, tell them, hey, you should probably, like, invite Dicejunkies.
Yeah, and then just take out all the other YouTubers till you get to us. Sorry, Markiplier, Jack. Y'all guys gotta go. I want your slot. I'm after it.
But yeah, no, we'll be going to the Alabama Comic-Con with AVC, which is September something.
And then I think Louisiana Con.
Louisiana Con. I think right after Alabama Con, I'll be going to the Gaming Expo in Monroe, Louisiana, Independent Gaming Expo. So yeah, cool. Roll that beautiful die, man.
Right.
Oh wait,
it's
hold
really
on. Let me
beautiful.
throw this.
It's clear.
There we go.
Okay.
Let me throw the die cam up.
Okay.
Try to hit.
So you can be our first guest to hit in that zone, like.
Yeah, there we go.
How did you?
Got.
All right, we got an 11 upcoming movies, which we talked about recently. But so, what are you excited about with the upcoming movies, man? There's so many upcoming movies. I mean, the Marvel schedule's sort of low right now,
right?
Because I think they're holding off on announcing too much until the next Infinity Wars. But
it can spoil it. That's their literal problem. It's like we can't tell you who's not dead until the movie comes out.
So, what upcoming movies are you excited about? What are you looking forward to?
Honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to all of them, just to see like what the creators have done with it. But the one I'm really looking forward to would be Aquaman.
Right.
It is the best DC trailer.
You got any upcoming movie you're really excited for?
Glass, dude. I don't know why. Maybe it's just that particular combo, but for some reason, I'm really curious where they're going with that.
Yeah.
And I'll admit it, it's a shocker. I didn't even know they were making it. The first I heard of it was to see that trailer. But when it popped up and said the name Glass, I looked at you and went, they're talking about Mr. Glass. Like, I knew. I was like, this is probably that M. Night Shyamalan joint. And Shyamalan, you know what, screw you. You've been effing up lately, so I'm going to call you Shaman. M. Night Shaman, if he can make this work, that'll be a miracle. Raise the dead for us. But no, it looks good.
Yeah.
Other than that, the DC movie I want to see, as weird as it's going to sound, if I was going to see any of the three, it would be the Teen Titans. But it's because, despite what I said, I believe in seeing a movie before I critique it. So I would go see that movie before I could tell you what I thought about it.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you on Glass. I mean, I showed you that trailer because I was sort of excited about it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, dude, you got to check this out.
And I was like, oh, it's him.
Yeah. Glass is definitely the movie I'm excited to see right now. Out of the DC stuff, I think Aquaman, I'm with him on that one.
Yep.
Because I think that one has the most potential to actually be decent.
Well, I know, but that's also why I want to see Teen Titans, because it's either going to be a surprise hit or a car wreck that you just have to see. So I feel like it's worth my money, because no matter what happens, I'm going to leave the theater with strong feelings. Like, I know I'm going to have strong feelings on one way or the other.
Some kind of feeling.
If I leave the Aquaman movie, I think I'm going to leave going, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But I think I leave Teen Titans, I'm either going to be infuriated or laughing my butt off. Because it looks like it could be a great comedy. It looks like it has great comedy potential already, and the memes.
Yeah, and the consensus from the chat room seems to be Aquaman. So
it's going to be the best. Well, not counting Glass. I think Glass is going to be better. You know what? You're going to have to do that. I'll go see Aquaman with you. I want to see what's better out of Glass and Aquaman.
I'm not sure. I don't remember the release dates already. They've already gone through, so they may not even be anywhere near each other. So, all right. So I guess I'll roll this thing next.
Oh, so close, man! I thought that was a 1.
No, it's a 7. The 7.
I thought it was a 1.
The one that we were.
We get to talk about
the one that we've rolled like
Not now.
every episode so far because it's the one that I keep saying I'm going to take off. All right, so
what I said, don't roll. Oh my God, I just realized. I just said don't roll a 7.
yeah, no,
just roll again.
You remember?
Dude.
You remember how jinxy you are?
We've
11.
exhausted
Look at that.
that
11 again.
11.
So we're talking about movies again?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. If anybody's in the chat room, give me a number between 1 and 20. How about that?
You literally set yourself up.
Well, they don't remember what's on the list, and I know who's in the chat room so far.
You trust them? Let's see what they do.
Okay.
Right. Well,
What y'all got, man? Give us a number between 1 and 20.
Come on. They're taking too long. They're slow. Of course, there may be some lag on the live feed too.
Yeah, they may just be now going like,
Oh,
I told you.
Yeah, so 1.
it's a 1. Okay.
I should have known better than the Ask
I
Chat
can't
Room.
believe you fell for that.
Football, I thought better of you. Come on. All right. Well, since it's a 1, I'm gonna pass this one on to Q first because this
All right.
this is his rant stage. I'm gonna let him rant real quick, and then we'll
go Ash Ketchum. Like it's
Yeah.
time to get serious, Pikachu.
and then we'll have some commentary on his rant.
Pikachu, use anti-social justice warrior.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
No, man. Honestly, it's about reboots. It's not as bad as you think. All right. I've been watching the current stuff on the new Chea reboot.
Mhm.
And honestly, I looked at it, and I'm of the mind that I see what people are saying. I show pictures to people without telling them what it was, and I heard the same thing, which is the character definitely looks different.
Right.
Very different than what people are used to. And here's my thing. I'm not saying one side is right or wrong on it. My whole thing is that I believe that we need to understand that when you decide to not create an original product, you have to deal with that fan base. You
Right.
can't sit up there and decide to reboot someone's childhood cartoon and then say, how dare you have an opinion?
Right.
And that's my only stance on it. You can't sit up there and go, hey, because the thing is, I watched Chea because it crossed over with He-Man.
Right.
I watched Chea, and she was an important character to me because as a D&D player, He-Man was a barbarian, Chea was a paladin.
Right.
That is what she was to me, and her personality met it. She was a redeemed paladin that turned good. She represented everything a paladin should be. I liked the character, so she was important. It wasn't just girls that were fans of Chea, because as a D&Der, we look at things in a certain light. And I looked at it like, ooh, I'm going to go watch the barbarians run around in loincloths with big muscles, and I'm going to go over here and watch like the actual skilled swordsman who knows how to talk her way out of a situation, because she's not like just, I'm He-Man, I'm going to punch my way through problems. I liked Chea because there was, see, look at that. Those are two classes right there next to each other. That is your barbarian, that is your paladin. So a lot of people have been throwing out the mythological femininity. Look, all it is this. Chea had a persona that we grew up with. You have changed the persona. Some people are not going to like it. You don't have to approve, or you don't have to cater to them, but you cannot attack people for not liking it.
Right.
Because they do have a right to weigh in if they're a fan. Because I talked to an 18-year-old kid today, he was a man, 18, and he didn't know what Chea was. So you know who knows who Chea is? Us.
Right.
Us age group and fans that remember her. So all I'm saying is, don't get so much on your soapbox that you become offensive. Don't get so much on your soapbox that you don't realize that other people have rights to also, and they have a right to an opinion.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's all I'm saying. Is be fair, because you did not make a new product. Now, if this was a new series, I'd be right there with them. Hey, don't you tell her how to draw her main character. Don't, because that's her character. But guess what? This ancient character, this is also our character, because we grew up with it.
Right.
I just want, because we preach moderation, be reasonable. All I'm saying is both sides, the other side too, don't get all this mythology. Just say you don't like the way she looks. Don't just say, I don't like the way she looks. Okay, I understand. She looks different. You know, and on the flip side, the people that go, I like the way she looks, okay, but the people that don't like the way she looks, they're not going to support it, and they don't have to. They have a right to not watch your show.
Yeah,
but they don't have a right to tell you to change it. I'm with you there. They don't have a right to tell you what to do. But you did choose.
Well, I think the gist of the conversation too was with these reboots of classic things from our childhood and other people's childhoods.
Yeah. Usually,
and the mentality from the people that are redoing them that this is not for the fans. You know, it came from Star Wars and all that with the remarks of it's not for the fans. And honestly, I think that mentality is a bad mentality because the fans, the kids that watched She-Ra and He-Man when they were young are the people with money now. They're the people that are going to support your franchise. They're the people that are going to buy the toys.
They're also the parents. You know, they can tell their kids not to watch a show.
They're the people that are going to point their kids to check out this show because of the nostalgia, and it's something that they would be willing to sit down and watch with their children because it pulls from that material. When you completely go away from that material, I think it is a bad idea.
Oh yeah,
you know, but.
So I kind of get like the feeling that reboots get a lot of bad rep, and like I can't really say I blame the fan base, but I can't really say I blame the recreators of it. So it's more of like a 50-50 kind of thing. But the thing is, growing up with the childhood shows, I know that there was always like a life lesson to it, and you know you basically always would learn something new, and just basically every episode. But nowadays, whenever you see like shows like SpongeBob or like you know Teen Titans Go and stuff like that, you would think, you know, it's just hilarious. And not only that, they're teaching like pretty much it's okay to be wrong, I guess, because like basically it's not really okay to be wrong. It's more of just like it's.
And I won't let my kids watch Teen Titans Go.
Exactly.
So don't underestimate us parents because they don't watch it anymore.
No.
I told them it was bad. I showed them the original cartoon. They don't watch it anymore. So don't underestimate these old fans because we also can look at our kids and go, none of that.
None of that BS in my house. Not today.
You got a good idea when you talked about those lessons. And I'm going to give you an example, too, in case somebody decides to give me the good assault treatment. One of my favorite cartoons is Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Right.
I liked it. Well written, well done. The main character has a, you know, she is dressed as girly, but she's she's a normal figure. They don't sexualize her at all.
Right.
And I like her. She's a female main character, but she is interesting. There's some hidden story undertones, especially about the winners get the right to history that's really interesting in it. And the characters aren't overly feminine or masculine in any real way. Indeed, her role in the show is far more a front role than her partner, who's a boy. Like he's almost the one that follows her around and even gets saved a couple of times.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but I like it. So it is. But you know why I like it? It's a new original idea that was well done with great music, and it was awesome. Why don't you tell the story? Here's the thing. Just throw this out real quick. The power of Grayskull gets passed down. Why does it have to be She-Ra? Why can't it be the new champion of Grayskull?
Well, we've actually brought this up too with Marvel and so forth of, you know, dragging characters out for over, you know, what, almost a century now. You know? That it's like, why can't we just have the next gen?
Thank you.
Know?
Right.
Why don't we have, you know,
like X-Men?
Because then you can replace He-Man and She-Ra with different types. The new prince that becomes He-Man might not be a big muscle-bound guy. He might be sensitive. He might be a little bit more emotional. The new She-Ra might be aggressive.
Well, it'd also be
you pulled the original She-Ra.
It would also be an interesting outlook on society as far as, I mean, think you're okay. The new Superman is the prodigy, you know, Superman, where, you know, Superman's child or something. Maybe one of them got the powers of, and one of them didn't. You know, maybe he had. You know, so you have Superman's kids. So you also have this universe that Superman existed in and how that changed, you know, the universe as well. And now you have the younger generation. And I think that would be a great way to bring in.
You can even have the challenge of them going, I won't do this like He-Man.
Yeah.
I'm going to be different.
but you can bring in. With He-Man, great, but also, I was referencing, Marvel, DC, and stuff because you've got a lot of cultural things that have come up recently with Marvel, with the demographic and so forth, but that stuff's changed over time. Like how we look at demographics, how we react to demographics has changed over time. So it'd be interesting to see how that would look if you got, okay, here's the old and here's how they acted back then.
Right.
And you actually progress the comics with society instead of just trying to retcon and change stuff.
Right.
You could literally parrot real society of, well, that's how they did it back in She-Ra and He-Man's day.
Mm-hmm.
And you could literally have the person who takes it up with, like, people going, well, you're She-Ra, you're supposed to act like this. And she's like, no, I'm not. You could actually tell, oh, my God, a story with a point. Because here's the thing. Yeah. If you're too afraid to tell a new story and you're going to just grab this name for its... Because they're using She-Ra's name because it's a known name. Right. But then they don't want the weight that comes with rebooting it. Because I like your idea. That's great. I just realized something. As much as I said I didn't like the new Thor, the female Thor, I realized something. Had that been Thor's daughter, I'd have been all for it. Like, because I would have been like, oh, he's actually passing down the hammer to the next generation.
Wooden Ball brings up a good example with Batman Beyond. That was actually a great way to...
Terry McGinnis.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It was a really good comic. It was really good, show.
Yeah.
They did good job.
The movie with Joker where he goes, I'm not that Batman. Because Joker's like, you're supposed to... He's like, no, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
That was a poignant moment where Terry's like, I'm not your original Batman. I'm a different guy. Yeah. So, I'll crack jokes with you. Because Joker's like, you're cracking jokes? He's like, yeah, I can do that. I'll forget you.
I can do that.
I'm not all that. I'm not all F Batman and then kill 7 people. I've got a moral.
Yeah. All right, Q, roll me a die, man.
Ooh.
5.
What's our 5?
5 is super, but not super powered. Speaking of Batman, we'll roll into that style. We have this segment's where we talk about a character that is a superhero or has some a
lot of ability without actually
but doesn't actually have any powers.
Okay, so
Batman being the ideal, example of that because he has no superpowers, but he is this, Justice League level superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went over people like Lex Luthor and other individuals that have a lot of influence. But you know what? Because we've done comics, I think I'm going to step off to an interesting idea because we just saw the trailer. I'm going to talk a little bit about Glass. There's 3 guys in that movie, and one of them does not have superpowers.
Well, it is actually hinted that his super intellect is considered a superpower. That is his superpower.
But the thing is, he doesn't really seem to have like pseudoscience level super intellect. He just seems to be
Did you see the thing where he turned this friggin' paperclip into like some kind of gizmo?
You can't do that? Man, you're lame.
I know,
can you do that?
But
my power is a super intellect, is super hate.
I mean, with the trailer, they suggested that all 3 of them had superpowers.
All right. So we can't put them up there. I get that to you. I guess it's a little more challenging then because, well, you know what? Actually, one of the people I think that's very competent in all of his iterations I've seen in is instead of bringing up Batman, come on, let's be honest. Batman can breathe in space. I mean. How non-superpowered is he? I'm going to throw out Alfred. Alfred has maintained the secrecy of Batman. He has been tortured.
Right.
He has been almost killed. He, in some weird theories, is one of the Jokers. But
well, yeah, I mean, there's all these different iterations of him.
I like every iteration is competency.
I like the Alfred from Gotham.
I was getting it. See, like you just I like the way you managed to steal it in the middle of me doing it. Just like the Alfred from Gotham is competent. Well, the reason why is because Alfred deals with a level of issues, and he's shown his competency. Heck, in many he's been like the real guy who sits at the Bat computer, like not Batman. He's the guy at the computer that's programming everything. And he has to deal with Bruce Wayne, which you need to remember is a psychopath. He may not be murderous, But Batman is deranged.
Right.
He has serious mental issues, and he has to deal with this. He has to raise whatever random damaged child Batman brings into the cave that week. You know, like, oh, this kid's parents just died. Oh, this one's my murdered son.
Yeah, they brought up Batman's mental issues as part of the reason why the Joker sees him in such a light. You know, where that's his
crazy
nemesis.
buddy.
Yeah, it's
actually, you're as crazy as me, man.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize how crazy you are. You know, but I think that Alfred is one of the most amazing. Like, we go down a list of assistants. It's like, especially we go live action. It's like Alfred and Diggle are two amazing freaking like Diggle, dude, Green Arrow. Diggle is the best thing about that show.
But let's talk about Overwatch though. Like Overwatch as in the character, not the game. Wait. Oh no, I spoiled it. Okay, talking about another person. Go ahead, go for it.
Who's Overwatch?
Nobody.
All right, we'll just move on.
Okay.
Back to
you know.
back
I
to
seem
you,
to remember
Q.
the last time you were on a live show, you spoiled the snot out of something.
Yeah,
We're gonna start
did.
calling
It was
it,
something.
Spoiler
Yeah, that's
cheese.
right.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
No.
If you caught our live stream from the con, our good friend here was with us, and he spoiled something. So
I didn't mean to.
I'm going like, who's the non-powered person in Overwatch? The hamster? Like, I don't know who you're referencing. like, there's a hamster.
no. He spoiled something completely different than Overwatch.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking. But this time, apparently, Overwatch is an arrow spoiler because unfortunately, it's coming together quickly.
Well, you can quit adding it together for the people watching and just move on.
Yep.
Oh, you suck. But no, like I feel like Alfred in almost every iteration has been an amazing individual who has reined in a lot of what's going on, has been right there on the ground level. You gotta remember that he is almost always a latter life. Like, he's not a young guy in nearly any iteration as well. So I've always been a fan of, you don't have to have powers, because I mean, he also has influence on one of the most dangerous people in the world. I mean, this is the guy who had the I beat the whole Justice League plan and it worked. You know why it didn't work? Because they didn't account for him specifically.
Basically,
like he's the thing that broke it. It's like, oh well, I didn't have a counter me plan because I'm busy taking out the Justice League. So, what's the counter? You, the whole Justice League. I love that line where he's like, what's supposed to stop you? All of you, hopefully. Didn't look that good though. You just didn't pull it off.
That's true.
Like who's gonna stop me? Apparently none of you bastards. The whole of you got took down.
I feel like the only person who could pretty much take down Batman would be Alfred, because that's the person.
You got it.
That's the person that's raised him from all these years. Basically, that's his lifeline.
And there you go. And he's out. There we go. I've got him, everyone. He's down.
Down for the count.
But no, like, he has influence over somebody who listens to no one. I've seen him in many iterations. He's the one person that go, stop it. You're being a jackass. And everyone else gets punched, but he's like, all right, Alfred. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Butler Dad.
All right, so let's go ahead to our last and final topic, and we will have Google roll this one for us, which is probably going to come up with that DM thing again because they've changed stuff. Okay, Google, roll me a D20.
Google.
Okay, Google, roll me a D20. All right, Google has crapped out on me.
The rebellion has begun.
So let's let's see. I guess I'll roll since I
should we go Skynet? Will you roll me a D20?
I sort of chanced on the roll earlier. All right, 12.
All right.
So 12 is whatever happened to video game characters. So this is where we talk about a video game character from possibly our childhood or something that we have not heard much from in some
or got
time.
A terrible reboot.
Or got a terrible reboot.
Half of the Street Fighter game series, because I remember there were so many more characters that you could choose from Street Fighter.
There's a lot of characters on Street Fighter.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
they finally got a lot of them back in, but they still suck.
Yeah,
they did not take off the suck.
Let's see what's a good one, man. You
looking at me?
I don't know. I was
Like, unfortunately, thanks to like Smash Bros, half of mine are back in games now. Because I was gonna go, whatever happened to Little Mac? Oh wait, whatever happened to? Oh yeah, wait, what? Dang it. They brought back everybody. Whatever happened to Rob? No, they even got Rob. He wasn't even a video game character.
Yeah.
He was a crap accessory.
Well, I mean, this does seem to be like the decade of returns. You know, like we've seen so many characters finally being brought back that we have not seen in a long time.
I got a bad reboot one. Bionic Commando. Oh my God!
Not familiar.
We recently loaded up the Marvel Capcom game. My son's brother, wanted to try it out, and Bionic Commando was there, and he said, "Who's that idiot? Who's that girl with the weird arm?" And I was like, "No, that's a guy, and the arm's his wife." And he's like, "What?" And like a little 9-year-old was like, "That's dumb." Like, Bionic Commando was a fun game. It was an 8-bit game. It was an action game, and the reboot is the dumbest thing. And because last time I think we did Mega Man at one point, we talked about what they did, and like that was an example of, hey, let's reboot this and then let's be weird. And it's like, you could have just had it be the dude with the bionic arm again that stretches and he swings, but they had to go put his dead wife in his arm.
What about Earthworm Jim? Have they done anything with Earthworm Jim in a while? Like, that was one of my games.
I think a Kickstart tried to jump off, but it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, so I loved Earthworm Jim. That was an awesome.
The sense of humor was good.
Yeah. Had a good sense of humor. The just the weird earthworm in a freaking suit, power suit.
Let's vote for him for the next. I think he was in that really weird, bad PlayStation attempt at a Smash Bros knockoff.
Let's Google this.
Like, wasn't he a character in like something where like it was one of the Smash knockoffs? I think it was the PlayStation one.
It was the PlayStation All-Stars? Because they had like Kratos and like pretty much everyone from the PlayStation
and I want to say
series.
they had Earthworm Jim in the All-Stars game, which is so sad for him.
Let's see. Interplay announced an Earthworm Jim 4 in 2008, but little have surfaced since. While no new original games were released in the 2000s, the franchise was still used in the last years of the decade, with the trend of games from the 1990s being re-released digitally. In 2010, a remake of the original game titled Earthworm Jim HD was released on PlayStation Network. The game was very similar to the original, but had redone smooth graphics and new multiplayer exclusive levels. In 2018, Earthworm Jim HD was removed from the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live.
Go down a bit. Go down a bit. I want to see that in other media. Oh, maybe he wasn't in it. I thought he was in All Stars, but maybe not. Too bad. That would have been an amusing character, like Kratos versus Earthworm Jim is like the dumbest matchup. That sounds like what are you? I am Earthworm Jim, and he's like, I'm going to murder you.
Earthworm
You're going
Jim,
down.
Earthworm Jim Menace to the Galaxy in 1999 was an Earthworm Jim PSP.
There were a lot more Earthworm Jims than you knew, because I watched a video about what happened to Earthworm Jim on YouTube, and there were a lot of really bad sequels. Oh God, let's do that. I'm sorry, but you know what? I know it's not necessarily a video game, but have you seen the new Ninja Turtles? Jesus.
Are you talking about the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, no, the new cartoon with a really weird art style, man.
No, I've not seen the new cartoon.
It knocked the quality of art down to like amazingly. Like, I wish I thought that we were on a news section, but we are doing whatever happened. And I thought the one on Nickelodeon was doing well, but the reboot is.
I haven't got to finish the one in Nickelodeon.
It almost looks like it should be on Adult Swim. The graphics are not good. Like, it is not pretty. I was not impressed with the new artwork for the Turtles.
I remember this. Holy crud! Because I remember it actually going to like one of my cousin's houses, and he had the save point where like he kind of screwed himself, where there was this like little worm. Mm-hmm. If you touch it, it kills you instantly. So like anytime he respawns, you're basically already dead.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, is it the worm that eats you?
Yep.
Yeah, that big. Yeah, that worm basically is what they stole. Like, they stole that for like freaking SpongeBob because they have like this giant worm and it looks just like the like huge worm from Earthworm Jim.
Yep.
You know, they say what is it? Copycatting is the sincerest form of flattery. I forgot. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It's also just called stealing.
Stealing. Yeah.
True.
Copyright infringement. No.
Well, Earthworm Jim's been out for a while, so I think they're actually clear on that.
I don't know. But anyway, so that's going to wrap up Random Encounters. That is our last segment. I hope you enjoyed. So this is going to be the end of the live stream and the podcast. So if you listen to one of those, you know, we do it every Sunday at 3:30 for the live stream. You can check us out usually every week on the podcast. Sometimes I forget.
Oh man, Blood Axe is always getting on me like, "Where's the podcast?" Yeah. And I'll go, "Where's the podcast?" It's like, "Oh, I thought I."
Hey,
did
last week's it wasn't that I forgot. It was that I ended up just not posting it right.
Yeah.
So
I believe that's for you.
But anyway, let's wrap this up. And thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, all that good stuff. Just pretty much.
Yes, I did this.
At Dicejunkies, wherever you go. And be sure to check out Tai Chi Cosplay. Yeah, there's some weird waving going on. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.